Greetings and welcome to Seriously No BS, a hard talk on education. Welcome to the second episode of Seriously No BS. I'm Robert Bob Davis with Dr. Elizabeth Taylor. This show is being sponsored by Anywhere Healing and Wisdom to Go. And before we get started, Dr. E, I'd like to share an education quote from Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. The function of education is to teach one to think intensively and to think critically. Intelligence plus character. That is the true goal of education. And we're going to start the show with the video today as we prosecute the crisis in education. When we come back, we'll discuss the underlying effects of an education system in crisis. So let's move to the video.
Absolutely.
Albert Einstein once said, "Everybody's a genius, but if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will live its whole life believing that it is stupid." Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, today on trial we have modern day schooling. Glad you could come. Not only does he make fish climb trees, but also makes them climb down and do a 10-mile run. Tell me, school, are you proud of the things you've done? Turning millions of people into robots, do you find that fun? Do you realize how many kids relate to that fish? Swimming upstream in class, never finding their gifts, thinking they are stupid, believing they are useless? Well, the time has come, no more excuses. I call school to the stand and accuse him of killing creativity, individuality, and being intellectually abusive. He's an ancient institution that has outlived his usage. So, Your Honor, this concludes my opening statement, and if I may present the evidence of my case, I will prove it.
Proceed.
Exhibit A. Here's a modern day phone. Recognize it? Here's a phone from 150 years ago. Big difference, right? Stay with me. Here's a car from today. And here's a car from 150 years ago. Big difference, right? Well, get this. Here's a classroom of today. And here's a class we used 150 years ago. Now ain't that a shame? In literally more than a century, nothing has changed. Yet you claim to prepare students for the future? But with evidence like that, I must ask, do you prepare students for the future or the past? I did a background check on you and let the record show that you were made to train people to work in factories, which explains why you put students in straight rows, nice and neat, tell them sit still, raise your hand if you want to speak, give them a short break to eat, and for 8 hours a day, tell them what to think. Oh, and make them compete to get an A letter which determines product quality, hence grade A of meat. I get it. Back then, times were different. We all have a past. I myself am no Gandhi. But today, we don't need to make robot zombies. The world has progressed. And now we need people who think creatively, innovatively, critically, independently, with the ability to connect. See, every scientist will tell you that no two brains are the same. And every parent with 2 or more children will confirm that claim. So please explain why you treat students like cookie cutter frames or snapback hats, giving them this one-size-fits-all crap.
Watch your language.
Sorry, Your Honor, but if a doctor prescribed the exact same medicine to all of his patients, the results would be tragic. So many people would get sick, yet when it comes to school, this is exactly what happens, this educational malpractice, where one teacher stands in front of 20 kids, each one having different strengths, different needs, different gifts, different dreams, and you teach the same thing the same way? That's horrific. Ladies and gentlemen, the defendant should not be acquitted. This may be one of the worst criminal offenses ever to be committed. And let's mention the way you treat your employees.
Objection. Overruled. I want to hear this.
It's a shame. I mean, teachers have the most important job on the planet, yet they're underpaid? No wonder so many students are short-changed. Let's be honest, teachers should earn just as much as doctors, because a doctor can do heart surgery and save the life of a kid, but a great teacher can reach the heart of that kid and allow him to truly live. See, teachers are heroes that often get blamed, but they're not the problem. They work in a system without many options or rights. Curriculums are created by policymakers, most of which have never taught a day in their life. Just obsessed with standardized tests. They think bubbling in a multiple choice question will determine success. That's outlandish. In fact, these tests are too crude to be used and should be abandoned, but don't take my word for it. Take Frederick J. Kelly, the man who invented standardized testing, who said, and I quote, "These tests are too crude to be used and should be abandoned." Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, if we continue down this road, the results will be lethal. I don't have much faith in school, but I do have faith in people. And if we can customize healthcare, cars, and Facebook pages, then it is our duty to do the same for education, to upgrade it, change it, do away with school spirit, because that's useless. Unless we're working to bring the spirit out of each and every student, that should be our task. No more Common Core. Instead, let's reach the core of every heart in every class. Sure, math is important, but no more than art or dance. Let's give every gift an equal chance. I know this sounds like a dream, but countries like Finland are doing impressive things. They have shorter school days, teachers make a decent wage, homework is non-existent, and they focus on collaboration instead of competition. But here's the kicker, boys and girls. Their educational system outperforms every other country in the world. Other places like Singapore are succeeding rapidly. Schools like Montessori, programs like Khan Academy, there is no single solution. But let's get moving, because while students may be 20% of our population, they are 100% of our future. So let's attend to their dreams, and there's no telling what we can achieve. This is a world in which I believe. A world where fish are no longer forced to climb trees. I rest my case.
This video is named "I Sued the School District with Prince Wu." It depicts a courtroom scene that the education system is on trial, as Prince Wu, as the courtroom prosecutor, is making the case that the education system is outdated, which we know, and is doing more harm than good. Everyone can come away from the video with their own opinion. However, I like to focus on one word that stands out to me in the video, and that word is stupid. This word hit home to me from the experience I shared in episode 1, when my counselor and I said I was too stupid to go to college. This is a heavy word with lots of meaning. It can leave a lifelong impact of emotional and mental scarring. So in addition, people may be asking, is it possible to sue a school district for emotional malpractice? And what would be the legal grounds used to do that? The things that stand out would be the continuation of low standardized test scores, social promotion policies, moving students forward when they really shouldn't be, and school districts graduating students that are really not ready to graduate. However, suing a school district for educational malpractice is generally challenging and often unsuccessful due to judicial reluctance, meaning the courts really are hesitant to get involved in the education process. In addition to causation issues, improving that the school district's actions directly caused harm to the student is difficult to prove.
Mm-hmm.
So
yes.
It really is.
Yes. Do you have any statistics on how successful some of those courtroom cases, those malpractice suits are against the school system?
Yeah. Well,
which one wins?
Yeah.
And which do not?
So I mean, it's what's really difficult is someone going forward and trying to sue a school district. One, it costs a lot of money to do that.
Yes.
And and the school systems have all the money, all the lawyers, everything like that. And it's just really difficult to prove. The causation of whatever happened to me is due to exactly what the school system did. So in general terms, we know what's really going on. But when you get into the legal aspect of this, it's very difficult to sue.
Isn't that called the Williams rule or the Williams
Absolutely. In
process or
California, they have
something?
something called the Williams complaint.
The Williams complaint,
It's where
yes.
parents can file a complaint with the school district that said this happened. But even that process is very difficult because the districts don't make it easy for someone to do
of
that.
course not. Of course
So
not. Yes.
that's what we're finding when parents go to do this.
But are there more cases being brought to bear despite whether they're successful or not? Are there more cases being brought to bear on malpractice in the school system?
Not really.
No?
You know, it's just that,
People have been kind of scared away from
yeah,
doing that.
pa-
I'm not going to
parents-
waste my time.
Yeah,
Yes.
parents have
Uh-huh.
been scared
Mhm.
to
Mhm.
start that process.
Mhm.
But I
Mhm.
think the video brings up some really good points.
Yes,
You know,
yes, yes.
You know, trying to educate kids in this traditional model creates all these issues.
Mhm.
And you know, you're looking at the teachers unions and the administrators.
Yes.
So there's a lot packed in there for students to deal with and to work with.
Yes.
But
yeah.
I really enjoyed the video because he spoke to that one word. That one word is
Stupid.
stupid. You know?
Stupid. It's a rampant word in the system, and you know it's really an awful, ugly word.
It is.
It's a stupid word.
It is.
I was,
It's a stupid
but
word,
it's yes,
and
yes,
and it
mhm.
leaves a lot of impact.
a lot of scarring, a lot of impact that lasts a lifetime.
Yeah,
A lifetime,
yeah.
yes.
So you know
Of course, yeah.
when students are hearing teachers or whatever call themselves stupid, they internalize that.
It isn't. Yeah, it is
Right,
internalized.
right.
Absolutely.
And you
yeah.
know they don't even have to really use the word stupid. They can just use all those derogatory, negative names. And then you know with all the bullying and things like that, other kids pick up on that and
Yes.
just reinforce
Yes.
that
Yes.
negative.
You know, now that we're talking about this, I have an image in my mind. So the school, what it tends to be a predominant experience of many young kids or even older kids in the school system is being put down, labeled,
Mhm.
put down. Can you imagine a system where we have the opposite going on, where people are saying, "Oh, you're so smart. Oh, Johnny, you really doing great. Can you imagine that?
I
Is
think you
that
bring up
so
a
hard to
great point.
imagine?
You
So
know,
why do we have a system that is so based on shaming and
mhm.
putting down? And I have to say, is that built into the system? Is it by design? As
Mhm.
in terms of an alternative one that deliberately builds people up. And that is embedded in the culture, not just among the teachers, from teacher to student, but from student to student.
Yeah, and
Can that be taught?
from person to person,
And
right?
from person to person.
You know how many?
And
Yeah,
that can
yeah.
be, go ahead.
Yeah. Well,
This is,
yeah, and I think you bring up a
this,
great
yeah.
point. You know how many negative comments, negative words we hear
Yes.
about ourselves on a daily
On a
basis?
daily basis. Yes. Yes.
Just think, and I agree with you. Just
Uh-huh.
think if
Mhm.
someone said, "You look great today. You're awesome." A lot of people have a hard time
Have a hard time accepting that. Isn't
Yeah,
that
they
something?
just don't buy into that belief
They
system.
don't buy into
But
that.
that positive reinforcement,
Positive
those
reinforcement is
positive words.
awkward to accept that.
Yes, yes,
Yes.
yes. So,
Yes.
I mean,
Yes.
I think you just bring up a great point.
Yes, so we
about-
agree. So
but-
we're going to have to abolish that word. School rule number 1, do not say stupid. You will have to go
No,
to the end of the
no,
back of the
no.
classroom when you use that word, whether you're a teacher or not. You go to the back of the classroom. It's really, and I understand. It's just It's overdone.
Yeah, and you know
Yes.
there are some
Yes.
programs now where teachers are
Yes.
greeting and meeting their kids at the
Mhm.
beginning of
Yes,
the day.
positive, affirmative
Affirming.
communication and
Mhm,
language.
mhm.
Yes,
But you know,
And-
it's a difficult concept
Yes.
to overcome.
it's difficult to overcome, and I'm sure we're going to get more into that as we dive more into
Yeah.
what's on the horizon and what's working, what needs to
Yeah,
work in the
yeah,
schools
yeah.
today.
But you know, we're
Yes.
blasted daily through social
We're
media,
blasted,
the
yes.
media, and everything with all these negative connotations.
Yes,
But I think you bring up a great point. Wouldn't the world be great if
if we
everyone
had
just said,
something,
spoke in
yes,
positive terms?
yes,
Right?
yes,
So
yes. Wouldn't that be
hopefully,
something?
we can get-
We're in a condemning society. Hello, I'm Dr. Elizabeth Taylor. Oh my God, look at this one. Formula 9 presents 9 keys to raising one's consciousness. This book outlines how this can be done. Fear is an ever-present constant in people's lives. Many times, people give fear too much power. According to the universal law of growth and expansion, all of life is endowed with the spark to evolve towards higher forms and expressions. Thought is a living thing. Thank you for joining me in this Wisdom to Go moment.
Welcome back to Seriously No BS, a hard talk on education. Dr. E?
Yeah, so we're going to continue talking about this issue of trauma because it's really important. And last week you shared your experience, your personal experience about trauma in your early classroom experience with your teacher. And trauma seems to be an indelible byproduct of the learning in public schools, and it is increasingly so. Trauma usually begins and occurs among students at the elementary level, as in Bob's case. And there's so much reporting and data out there on the high levels of trauma experienced by these young kids. While most young students tend to have carefree or user-friendly learning experiences, such as myself to some degree, we need to explore and understand why so many other students do not. And so, what are we talking about when we say a child is traumatized in the public learning process? Trauma in a school setting is when a child experiences very stressful, frightening, or distressing events and situations on a regular basis and over a long period of time. And that child tends to, how does that happen? The child could bring the trauma into the classroom from their home life, or it can be brought onto the child by other students in the classroom, or even the teacher, by bullying or the teacher.
Yes.
It could be a physically experienced trauma or an emotionally felt trauma, which is far more damaging.
Absolutely.
Far more damaging. And in any case, the trauma prevents that student from learning effectively, and it usually carries into adulthood.
Yeah.
With that person having hang-ups and such, basically.
And from my experience in being in the classroom and being in education, I've always questioned, we're asking our students to come in at 7:30 in the morning, open up a book and take a test.
Mm-hmm.
We don't even know where they came from.
Don't know where they're coming from.
We don't even know emotionally where they're at.
What emotional climate they're just leaving.
So what's the result of that? Of course, we're going to have low grades. We're going to have kids fit because they're not there. And we're asking them to be there academically.
Absolutely.
And, one thing we know about trauma and stress, from my research is that, when we're under stress, we're operating in the back of our brain here, right? The blood's getting stuck here. Imagine.
Is that the reptilian?
The reptilian brain,
yes.
Absolutely. So when you look at that, what happens is that the blood stops there, right? Because we're in that fight, flight, or freeze mode, right?
Mm-hmm.
What do we do, right? And really, we're leaving out the prefrontal cortex. That's where all the memory and everything happens here.
Yes.
So with these kids being in this stressful mode, they're not able to really think because they're thinking, what should I do here? Should I fight, flight, or just freeze up here? And most kids just freeze up.
They're not ready. They're not ready, and they're not ready to learn.
They can't access the information.
They can't.
Just in my example, I've taken tests before. I'm not a good test taker. But what happens, I go in and I'm stressed. And when I come out of that test, when I'm relaxed, I'm like, I know that answer. Why couldn't I find that? Because
your brain wasn't ready.
My prefrontal cortex wasn't
ready.
conditioned.
It wasn't ready.
So, and that's where the trauma comes in because we don't know what these kids just saw or what happened last night.
And where a lot of the acting out comes from.
Oh, absolutely.
Right? Like in that video we saw before about the teacher who was quitting.
Yes.
Right? And he said because the kids are out of control. Out of control. So maybe because the kids are just not ready to learn. Their brains are not primed to learn for that day.
And the science shows that. It's just not making up information.
Yes.
The science explains that.
Absolutely.
So we really have to address that.
Have to address that.
Trauma, they have these trauma-informed counselors, but what are they really doing?
Well, you know what I do, and I'm not an elementary school teacher. Been a college graduate school teacher. But even when I did that, before the beginning of classes, I would have us all check in. Before we start the lesson, we'd have a check-in. Okay, how you doing? How's your day going? What are you feeling? What's on your mind? What do you need to get off your chest, kind of thing. Well, that worked well for adult learners.
So what I'm seeing, and some schools are starting to accept this, is something called mindfulness.
Mindfulness, yes.
And I've always envisioned everyone coming to school, whether they're in their homeroom or their class, everyone participates in a 5 or 10 minute mindfulness. What are you doing?
Yes.
Breathing. We know that breathing relaxes you, right? And helps you focus. and you're getting out of your reptilian
You're getting
mind,
into your center.
and you're
getting
letting
into
that
yourself.
blood
Yeah.
flow. Right?
Yeah,
So
that's
I think
important.
we're going to talk about
We're going to get
mindfulness.
into all of that stuff.
But mindfulness
Yeah.
is so important.
Right.
Just breathing.
Just breathing and getting in touch with yourself. So,
Actually, you know, the U.S. Navy SEALs, they have a program that does mindfulness.
Really?
Yeah.
So if they can do it, why can't we give it to the
Absolutely.
kids?
Yeah, absolutely. You always
Yeah.
wonder, how can they function better?
Yes.
You know, it's called being in the zone or in the
Yes.
flow.
I know.
They actually do mindfulness. They have
Maybe
a whole
they
program of breathing. You can look it up.
Maybe
Look it
they
up online.
They give it to the Navy SEALs, but not the kids because they want to have the kids acting out in school.
Yeah.
They want
Well,
the dysfunction.
we're going to talk
right?
about that
Right.
too,
They
right?
want that. Yes.
Is it by design?
Right. It is by design.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
But yeah, so mindfulness, breathing. I mean, if you just want to look it up on the internet on the U.S. Navy SEALs program, it's awesome.
That's an interesting footnote.
Yeah.
Very interesting footnote.
Yeah.
So, along these lines, it's important to look at the role of trauma, to keep looking at it in all its various manifestations and layers. And we're fortunate, now that we're talking about possible solutions here, we are fortunate to have a sponsor of this podcast who has a groundbreaking product that is in synergy with the intention of our show, which is problem solving and health. And this company is called Anywhere Healing, and you've seen their commercials. So Anywhere Healing has a bioresonance alpha wearable watch, an alpha wearable watch that speaks directly to some of the issues that we're talking about here, especially when combating trauma. We envision a classroom where children can wear this watch when they're having episodes or something. We envision that as a part of the classroom that's emerging. So let's take a look at a story about a young boy named Mohan and how he benefited from the alpha wearable to deal with his ADHD situation.
Hello, my name is Mohan Kumar, and I'm 11 years old, and I'm in the 6th grade. Sometimes I would go to school, and I would have games on my mind. I wouldn't really concentrate, and then when I would go home, I would forget my homework and rush to the games. This gave me high levels of dopamine. When my dad saw this addiction, he gave me the Alpha Wear, and after he did that, it helped soothe my brain, and I no longer had a craving for video games. I did better in school, and I did better on my homework.
The two men who brought this miracle to little Mohan and his family are Bharat and Alberto. These are two great men of science who are also problem solvers, bringing something powerful to address this deep problem in education and beyond.
Hello, my name is Bharat Kumar, and I am the CEO of Anywhere Healing. I am a software engineer. Let me give you a little bit of my background. I specialized in iOS development. I make iOS apps, and I always had an interest to help people in health-wise. So I worked for a company that is called Dexcom, and I've helped them to build apps that can help diabetic people to track their glucose levels. But I wanted to do more. So eventually I was in Mexico and I met Alberto. He specialized in bioresonance technology. So the way that I met him, I had issues dealing with stomach issues, that whenever I ate something, my stomach was bloated and my day was really bad because I had a brain fog. I totally couldn't work functional. So when I met him, he had this device that he used when I had to lay down in a bed, and then he will put the device on me and it will emit frequencies in my body. That was something really new for me because I never met this kind of technology before, or I knew this kind of technology. So when I used it the first time, in 1 hour after finishing the therapy, I felt like my head was light. And I wondered like what happened. So little by little, I got to know a little more about this technology, that I used it for like 2 weeks, 3 times a week. And I couldn't believe that it really helped my stomach, that I felt so good, that completely my stomach issues were relieved. I was dealing with this for many years. So I came up with an idea with Alberto, like how about we team up and build something that can be innovative and help people in their houses or wherever they are. So we built Anywhere Healing device Alpha Wearable. Now, Alpha Wearable, a little bit of introduction that Alberto can give you, how he started with bioresonance technology and how we started building this.
My name is Alberto Nieblas, and I'm the co-founder of Anywhere Healing. So my background and my story begins in 2009, where I got diagnosed with very bad disease. It's ear cancer. I was looking for an answer because not many doctors were giving me any options for treatment except treatments that were very extreme and painful. I was already having a lot of pain, so I didn't want to mess with anything else with their options. So I started looking for different methods, different alternatives, until I met a guy that showed me and explained about therapy that is called biomagnetism. I was able to go with him, get treatments from him, and after a few weeks, the pain that I had in my head was gone. I started feeling much better, so I fell in love with this therapy. I started learning and doing research about this. I end up learning more about frequencies, vibrations, and energy. I learned bioenergy, radionics, until I was able to come up with a device that put together all these therapies, and it was amazing, the amazing results. So I started working with this device in different countries. I set up clinics that was able to help many people in the Caribbean, Mexico, US, and Australia. I continued making research and learning more about these frequencies until I met Bharat, and we were able to join his expertise and mine to put together this amazing device that is now the Alpha wearable. It's stronger, even better than the other devices we work on. It's faster, very easy to use. Like it says, wearable device, you can use it anywhere you are, even if you're working or you're in the gym or you're just resting on your house.
Thank you, Alberto. So that is one of the reasons that we are providing Alpha wearable for trial for 30 days. So try it in your house. If you like it, think about it. If you don't, no questions asked. We just want to help people with the alternative bioresonance technology, and we have seen many results. I hope you are one of them. Thank you.
Bharat and Alberto are outstanding individuals who have a big heart for moving us forward. In the course of this podcast, Bob and I are going to be introducing you to more people of the same caliber who are doing just the same.
Very interesting.
The Alpha Wearable from Anywhere Healing is a personal wellness device you wear on your wrist, like a watch. Using advanced bioresonance technology, it boosts energy, reduces stress, and promotes natural healing. Elevate your well-being with the Alpha Wearable. Get yours today with a 10% discount when you order from hatsif.net. That's HATSF.net. Click the link on the HATSIF homepage and start your journey to wellness today.
Welcome back to Seriously No BS, a hard talk on education. We have a special guest today, and I'm going to let Dr. E introduce him.
All right. Well, we've heard the story about little Mohan and how the Alpha wearable helps him with his situation with anxiety and trauma in the classroom. We've heard from Alberto. So now we're going to hear from the man behind the Alpha wearable, Bharat Kumar. And for you ladies out there, he is extremely cute. And I say emphasis on cute. So take note of that. So first and foremost, Bharat, can you describe how does the watch work?
Yes, sure. So it's very interesting. So the device uses bioresonance technology. So we have sensitive sensors in the device that analyzes unique energy frequencies in what is happening in our body, like is there any disturbance? So these sensors can detect what is going on in your body through these frequencies. So it can harmonize any kind of disturbance or imbalances going on by detecting the cells, right? So yeah, in simple word, we can say that's how it works.
So you say the body has its own frequencies. Can you say more about how that works?
For sure. It's a really long topic, and we can even have a book read about frequencies. And so we can say in simple words, that it uses bioresonance technology. The principle of this technology is that it uses bioenergetics. So it suggests that every living organism, including the human body, has its own electromagnetic frequencies. It operates in the concept of that each cell, tissue, organs has unique electronic magnetic frequencies. So corrected by specific frequencies, we can have uh, with these frequencies we can have a physiological state of, right. So is it in the bad state or is it in the good state?
Amazing. Amazing.
One thing really interesting in wearing my device also is that is there, how do you determine which frequency is used for which issue?
Yeah, that's a great question because it makes you curious, right? Well, like if I have, let's say, stomach issues, how it is impacting my stomach in order to recover it, right? When I'm emitting the frequencies through my wrist. So what happens is that each health condition has its own unique frequency signature. So the concept is that every cell organ is having its own unique frequencies, and when there's a disturbance, we can say the watch is detecting that this organ, for instance, your stomach organ, is not doing well in frequencies levels. So this is how it starts balancing it.
So, in terms of anxiety and stress levels, anxiety, would you say that's a frequency? It has its own frequency.
Right.
And the watch, the alpha wearable, has a counter frequency to merit with that to resolve the issue. It's like that.
I couldn't say it in better words.
I thought that was a little messy. Okay.
One subject that we've really been diving into, Bharat, is trauma, and definitely trauma within our students and what goes on in the schools. And in this episode, we were talking about a lot of trauma-induced issues that a lot of kids come to school with. So, are you saying that students could wear one of these watches also to help them with their stress and anxiety?
Definitely can. So we have had a few experiences with kids as well. For instance, personally, my little brother, he's 10 years old, and he loves playing games. Well, trauma is separate, right? But let's say this small example where he plays a lot of games every day, and he doesn't have uh, enough energy anymore to do homework. So because he already used his dopamine levels into game, and now he cannot focus in one single thing. So my dad always uses this device with him every, like, let's say 20 minutes, and it helps him to relax and regain his clarity of mind in order to be able to focus in one thing, which is the homework. So it helps kids mentally. It helps them to balance their state of mental clearness, and so they can be calm, right? So that's how we work with it.
That's interesting because we were, discussing about kids coming to school during the testing process and everything. And, if these kids are highly stressed or anxiety, they're going to do poor on the test, not because they don't know the information. They just can't access that information because of the stress. So are you saying this is something this device would really help kids focus, like when they're taking a test or studying?
Yes, definitely. It can help them to improve their cognitive skills as well. The way that it helps is that it sends frequencies in your brain, in your mind, and then it stimulates the neurons, and this way that they can have a stabilized emotions. Let's say kids who have autism, they cannot stand still sometimes; they move a lot. We can help them to calm down, their mental state.
Wow. Why haven't we been hearing about this treatment and this kind of technology around these conditions of trauma, anxiety,
Frequencies.
ADHD, and all that before?
Yeah, that's what I can say is that bioresonance is not well known yet because a few reasons is that it's not mainstream medicine, and second thing is it's not marketed as well. So it is considered as alternative health as well. So a complex topic for some, I will say, but more people are learning about it these days, and they're getting into holistic health, seeing that it really affects them and help them to recover from issues. So they get into knowing, like, okay, I want to know more about this. What is the bioresonance technology?
So what brought you to this technology?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that again?
What brought you to exploring this technology and developing this marvelous tool?
Well, my background starts with software engineering. So I'm a software engineer specializing in building iOS apps. But I always had an interest to be able to help people with technology. I worked for bigger companies like Dexcom, helping people to be able to see their glucose levels through app. And they have a CGM, which is continuous glucose monitoring sensors that we put on their skin. So I wanted to help people in various ways, and even more. So I was always investigating, and that's how I met Dr. Alberto in Mexico. So we started from there. So main reason of launching Anywhere Healing was to be able to help people in alternative health with non-invasive frequencies, so they can, and also there's no side effects using this kind of treatment.
So now that it's out here, now that we're talking about this watch, this alpha wearable, what do you see? Where do you see this going, say 2, 3, 5 years from now?
For me, as a personal experience, what I've been able to experience with this, be able to resolve many of the illnesses, issues that I have been countering. It supported my health issues. So it gives me so much confidence that I wish it can be used throughout all the world, so people can use it, take advantage of it anytime, anywhere in their house. So let's say they are in the office and they are feeling bad, or maybe they are out there in somewhere that they cannot get into, like in their train or something, right? They're like in a way that they cannot go out or do something, so they can use the device in order to be able to support their vitality. So I wish it could be used by everyone.
By everyone, yes, everyone. Children in the classroom, in the workplace. Uh, uh, you have two people who having problems in their relationship. You said, "Go and put your watch on." It has a lot of application, and I may be laughing, but I think this is just the most marvelous thing that I've come across in many, many years, really. And I appreciate what you've done in developing this. Yes.
So when you say a wearable, is this something I have to wear for the whole day? Do I wear it at night? How's that process work?
You can use it according to your circumstances. People work through sometimes at late night, and some people work at daylight. But I would suggest to use it 6 hours a day. And the device can last like 7-8 hours, and you can charge it again like in half an hour, and it's good to go again. So yeah, it depends on your schedule, on your daily life, when you can use it. But I would suggest to have 6 hours continuous of this therapy. This way, your body can receive these frequencies in an accurate way.
So I've been wearing my watch now for about 2 hours today, and I can keep it on for another 3 hours, basically. And all I can expect from this is beneficial results, nothing adverse or anything at all. Yes?
Yes, of course. One of the experience that I had like 2 days ago, it was that I was I just gave to try this device to my stepmom. Like, okay, you're working a lot and you're in a lot of stress, so use it. But her mom got so curious about the device, and now she's doing it because I explained to her that this can help you with muscle pain, and she was like, yeah, let me try it. Now it has been a week for trying this device, and she don't want to give back to my stepmom because it's helping her a lot in relieving her muscle pain. And she used to sleep before only till 5 a.m. because she couldn't sleep more. Now she's sleeping till 8 a.m. and she feels amazing with this. She got so hooked with it that it was for my stepmom, but now she's keeping it.
Amazing, amazing. Yes, I've been using it for a daytime therapy and for nighttime therapy, and it has also been helping me to sleep through the night without waking. Yes, I can attest to that.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, when I started wearing mine, I was wondering, am I going to feel these frequencies? What's going
You
to
don't
happen?
feel them.
Yeah.
You don't feel them. You feel nothing.
Yeah, so
Yes.
it's just been a real subtle improvement. So
Yes.
very nice.
Yes.
So we're really looking forward to really getting back with you and letting you know the results that we're having. And, so far it's been great. Like I said, it's just a subtle difference that I feel in my overall well-being. And it's very, very helpful. So
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And I think it has great potential in the classroom and beyond.
Yeah,
For sure. Would you agree?
yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
And I hope our educators that are listening are
Yes.
get very interested in this
Yes.
and really start doing some research. And hopefully we can have you back on again and talk more about it.
Yeah, so we'll keep the commercials going for sure.
Yeah,
People know
yeah.
how to reach you.
So as we're wrapping up, thank you very, very much, Bharat, for being part of this. Thank you.
I really appreciate it. I really appreciate being able to speak about the device and how it can help people.
All right, very good. Have a great day. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks.
The Alpha wearable uses groundbreaking bioresonance frequency technology to assist you in managing stress, alleviating pain, and promoting balance in your body's natural rhythms.
Experience enhanced energy, better focus, and reduce stress and anxiety. With advanced tracking and customizable therapy options, the Alpha wearable is your ultimate partner for optimal health. Crafted with high-quality, hypoallergenic materials and a scratch-resistant sapphire crystal display, it's built for comfort and durability. Plus, with its enhanced battery life, it keeps up with your busy lifestyle.
Don't let chronic health conditions hold you back. Live in optimal health in the now. Embrace the power of bioresonance technology and take the first step towards a healthier, more vibrant life with the Alpha wearable.
Visit hatsf.net. That's HATSF.net today and start your journey to better health. Welcome back to Seriously No BS, a hard talk on education. I like to ask the viewing audience if there's anything unusual that you notice about me and Dr. E. And a hint, it's not the color of our skin.
No. We're wearing our Alpha wearable watches. And you know what? That's one reason why I haven't bought Bob upside the head by now. As I get along with him up to this point.
Because you say I'm causing you trauma?
Absolutely. You have no idea. But with this watch.
It's stress.
This watch, because I have a program. Do you have your watch program?
Yes.
I'm in the therapy mode now.
Yes.
But which means that the resonances, the frequencies are now working with my body to.
Same here.
As Bharat explained in his video,
Yeah.
It does work.
Well,
it's marvelous.
We're going to
Yes.
talk more about the watch
Talk
and
more
the
about
device.
it. Yes. So
Seriously.
Seriously. Another thing that I want to mention here that happens a lot in education is this shaming. It's this shaming, which is an extension of the trauma
Yes.
that students experience. I want to mention here how standards seem to be lowered in education and what I see as a dumbing down process.
Right.
Which it's a real big deal with me, this dumbing down I see in school and societal as well. I ask, is that by design or not? I tend to think it is by design, especially when I see the same process at work in our education and our entertainment, specifically television programming and movies, even in the media. And even though our legacy mandated educational system is crumbling at its seams, it's still at work and has extended its arms, its tentacles, still reaching out to us, teaching us as we become adults. We're still worker bees and consumers by and large.
Mhm.
Yes. And this builds up the elite classes to have
Absolutely.
ever increasing power and control, which again is by design.
It's bullshit.
It's bullshit.
Yeah.
But there is an awakening going on. At the same time I see this, a great awakening. People are seeing through the BS. And I feel blessed to witness and to be a part of that. So, what is really the problem? What is the problem? What is the fear of having a society with more empowered versus disempowered people? What's the problem? Because I do believe that this is the direction that we're headed in.
And if I could make a real quick comment, in regarding the empowered, disempowered, real quick, a society with more empowered people tends to be more dynamic, equitable, healthy,
Yes.
educated, and culturally rich. However, a society with disempowered individuals often faces stagnation, inequality, poor health outcomes, leading to cultural erosion.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
this whole shaming down, if I may add, regarding education, wealth building, which will be the main topic for our next episode, I'd like to emphasize the empowerment of students and understanding just how powerful they can be once they understand that they're the main reason the monies flow into education. Without students being in that school district, the school district will lose their funding. But it's like the Wizard of
Yes.
Oz. You think they're going to tell the students, but they're going to tell students, look behind the other curtain. And
No,
that's what's sad going on. So
that's what's sad going on.
I think that's the way we empower our students and our parents,
Yes.
to let them know the importance.
Yes, and I want
of
to harken
students
back.
being there.
We're already in the cultural erosion, Bob. We're
Yes.
already there. You said it could lead to it. We are already there. We are in trouble.
Yeah.
We are in trouble, and we're
Yeah.
basically in the process of trying to dig ourselves out of this
Mhm.
pit, this morass that we're in
Yes.
because of the failing education system.
Mhm.
Yes.
No, absolutely. So I think, we really need to look at that empowerment, like you said, right?
Mhm.
And we know that the elite class, they don't want people becoming empowered.
They want the
because
chaos.
it's a
They want the
threat.
chaos
It's a
and the
threat to their
confusion.
control.
They want the distraction. And you notice how we stay so distracted, right?
Yes.
With sports, with Hollywood,
Mhm.
with movies.
Yeah.
Well, we stay distracted. Now we
Yeah.
got the Olympics. Okay, don't
Yeah.
get me started
Yeah.
here,
Yeah.
right?
Well,
Yes.
I think we have a lot to talk about. Next
Yeah.
episode, we're going to get into this.
Yes.
But you know what? We're going to bring back Wally Wisdom. He was a big hit last week, and the audience really, really liked him between you and me. So, I think we're going to bring Wally Wisdom back, and we're going to leave the audience with some good words of wisdom on this
All
whole
right.
high note of
Okay.
empowerment.
Okay. Wally,
but-
come on. I think I'm in love already.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to meeting Wally.
All right.
I'm going to be here with you today, and see what Wally has to say.
Oh, he's an avid learner. He's an avid learner. And that's why he's called Wally Wisdom, I suppose. I even said that to him. You are wise because you are still learning. You're still learning.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. But he seems like someone to meet. So
Yeah.
we're going to be talking to
And
Wally
a
Wisdom.
good sense of humor, too.
Is that right?
Oh, he's funny. Gosh.
So I'm looking forward to meeting Wally.
Well, hello, Wally. It's good to see you today. There you are.
So nice to see
Look, you look so nice and handsome in your nice blue.
Yes,
You got a
thank you,
new
thank
vest.
you. I sure
Did you
did get a
do
new
that
vest.
just for me?
I sure did. I was gonna come on here looking really nice.
Well,
just
you
for you,
are
Dr.
really
E.
killing it, Wally.
Oh, thank
Yes.
you very much. I killed a lot of fats and I killed this look too.
What do you want to know today? What questions you have today for me?
Well, I heard you guys talking about something called frequencies.
Frequencies, yes.
Mhm.
Yes, we were talking about frequencies, and we had two brilliant men on who invented this awesome tool,
Mhm.
a watch, a frequency watch. Maybe we'll get you one of them too.
Oh, maybe.
And
I
it's
can put it
all
on my
about,
feet.
yes, you put it on your wings are too fat. Maybe on your little feet, maybe on your feet,
Maybe
yes.
One of my little, one of
Little
my
feet,
talons.
yes, the talons of your claws. But the thing about frequencies is that we're all made of atoms, and we all have frequencies going through our bodies at all times. Like right now, our interaction is a frequency. Yes.
I think I feel one in my wing.
You're and we need to pay more attention to the frequencies that are abounding throughout our life. Music is a frequency, color is a frequency, voice is a frequency, relationships. It's a beautiful world we live in. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. So that's the whole thing about frequency. So if you continue to read Formula 9, there's a whole chapter devoted to frequencies in there. Check it out. Check it out.
I'll check
Yes.
it. I have, Fred. I do like that.
Yes.
actually.
And I like the way you're vibrating today. So So-
I vibrate very nice.
I want you to meet my partner of this talk show, who is Bob. Bob is over there.
Wally,
Yes.
how are you, man?
Yes.
I've heard a lot about you.
I've heard you talking this I've heard you talking the entire podcast too. Sorry. Yes, I've also heard a lot about you too, and I appreciate a lot of your views that you've been saying on this show as well, Mr. Bob.
Yeah. Well,
It's nice to meet you
thank you,
too.
Wally. And I'm hearing the audience really likes you also. Watch out, Wally.
Oh, watch out for what? Is something gonna? Is he gonna attack
You
me?
have to watch him. He's a smart aleck, so you have to know how to talk to him.
Is that
right?
that wise?
Yes.
I don't want to say it, but is that wise part of you
Yeah,
there, Wally?
yeah. You
I
gotta
think it's how
be
I
quick.
vibrate.
You gotta be quick on it with this guy here. Maybe so.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I want to hear more about the frequencies.
It's nice to be here with you, boys.
Yeah.
I think I hear
Yeah.
a rat vibrating outside.
rats have
I'm gonna go
vibrations
get
and
it.
rats have frequencies too.
Wally,
yes.
if you're
So,
hungry, we're going to have to let you go.
All right, I can't let that rat go. I'll see you guys around.
see you next time, Wally. Bye.
All right. Wally was a blast.
Oh, I'm in love.
Thanks for joining Seriously No BS. And if you'd like to learn more about us, please visit seriouslynobs.com. And we'd like to thank our audio engineers, Matt, Michael, and Jordan, and our production crew.